Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 11th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor. Let me see the state of California right there. Pacific Ocean out here, and you can see our next storm system. It is approaching the Northern California coastline, but it's weakening as it does so. But it will bring some precipitation to some areas, and we'll see how far south the precipitation will get with this system. We'll take a look at what is to come after that, because it looks like we have somewhat of a pattern change, and you can see all this energy out here crossing the Aleutian Islands, pouring out into the Gulf of Alaska. We're going to take a look at what is to come here through the extended forecast. It looks like we're going to get somewhat of a break here from the pretty extreme temperatures we've had across a lot of the region. Many records have fallen. Now, taking a look at the visible satellite, you can see we've got that storm system out here. I've got the Doppler radar overlaid, and there's not much showing up just yet, but you can see at the very end of the loop there, some very light precipitation approaching the coastline, and more of that precipitation is going to be associated back here with the frontal system. You can see that cold air back across the Pacific Ocean here. You can see the marine layer up and down the coastline. It's not too far into some of the interior areas. As you can see, San Diego, Los Angeles, a lot of areas are mostly cloud free, but it has made its way into some of the coastal areas across central California, and it's all the way up and down the coastline. And you can see across interior areas, some nice glorious sunshine here this morning. But now taking a look at what is going on upper levels of the atmosphere. This is 18,000 feet. This is that storm system that I was just pointing out. We've been talking about for the last few days. And you can see it is weakening as it makes its way in. But it's going to provide some relief from the heat, at least a little bit. And then we've got a pattern change coming as that energy I talked about across the Aleutian Islands and the Gulf of Alaska is going to start to pivot inland across North America. And this is going to help cool down the state of California and much of the West Coast. So that is going to be some welcome relief here. There is also better precipitation chances across the state of California with this trough's arrival. Now, taking a look here, I wanted to point this out. This is Pacific North American positive oscillation, a Gulf of Alaska trough. This is what we've been dealing with for a while. This can help amplify ridges across North America, and that's one reason why we've got this extreme heat for the last couple of weeks across the area. On the flip side, this Pacific North American negative oscillation. And why am I showing you this? Well, you can kind of forecast for it. You can see in the meantime that Gulf of Alaska trough, this is positive, very strong, but you can see the pattern change coming as we go towards the second half of October coming up here. So this is when we're going to get our temperature relief across much of the state. Now, taking a look at that 2-meter temperature anomaly, this is last night's artificial intelligence European model run here. So you can see some above average conditions. We swing that system through there and it makes a little bit of a dent. Actually, let me back that up and show it again. You can see it's not making too much of a dent, but it is bringing some below average temperatures out there and kind of helps relax temperatures a bit, but you still see many locations are above average. So what we're really looking at here as we go towards next week, check this out. You can see the temperatures really dropping off as we get the pattern change. Much of the state will be below normal. Again, this is at the surface temperature anomaly for this time of year, and this will at least give us somewhat of some relief for a few days. But on the flip side of that, as we go off into the extended, models are showing another ridge developing here across the West Coast, North America. And you can see these temperatures really ramp up as we go towards the end of October. Don't worry about that too much just yet, but it's something we will be watching on a day-to-day basis. Now, taking a look at the 6-hour precipitation, there's California here, Hawaiian Islands would be to the bottom left. This is our frontal system out off the coastal areas. You can see it is losing its punch by the time it moves in, but it is bringing some precipitation. Some of it just tries to get down towards the Bay Area. It's not making much headway, though, and that system kind of peters out. And then we look at that trough's arrival, and you can see this is a much more dynamic system as far as bringing some precipitation, maybe into the Bay Area, Sacramento Valley, Sierra Nevada, cooler than normal conditions. Slight chance of some precipitation, even across some of central and southern California. Also, you can see that frontal system across Nevada, Utah, and Arizona as well. So much welcome relief, at least for some time. Then we scroll off into the extended, and you can see this high pressure here off the Oregon coast. That is helping to build ridging. You can see the thermal troughing return, and we get some higher pressure over the Great Basin, perhaps even some offshore wind events as we go through the second half of October. Too early to go into detail on that just yet, and you can kind of see tropical systems out here moving around, but nothing to worry about right now. Doesn't look like it will have any effect on Southwest USA. And taking a look at 8-meter smoke, I like to run through this on a daily basis. I think that is the shoe fire. I'm not sure if this is the happy or the coffee pot fire. I think that is the happy fire out there, and that's producing smoke again, so I don't like to see that. But overall here, we're doing pretty well across the state of California. You can see most areas are smoke-free, at least at the surface. Now, we take a closer look here. If I click on that one, that is the Happy Fire here. It hasn't been updated, and it hasn't been showing much growth there either. So I don't know if that's just the HER is not doing something right with that one. But you can see the Shoe Fire also there off to the north and east of Redding. Now, take a look at the rain forecast. Sacramento, California, check it out. You can see just starting to clip down towards the Bay Area, minor impacts here. It's just nice to see some clouds and some precipitation coming here. You can see Fort Bragg, better amounts. Look at Eureka, up towards a quarter of an inch also. And some of the coastal areas north of Fort Bragg getting some pretty decent precipitation amounts with this next system. Checking out Bishop, California, you can see the temperature is cooling off a bit here. Las Vegas, things are cooling off. Kingman, Laughlin, Nevada. Phoenix, Arizona, even things are kind of cooling off here. You're still setting records, probably all the way on into the upcoming Monday here. Then the first day in a long time we may not set a daily record high would be Tuesday. Forecast high of 99 there. And the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, you can see near normal. People in Phoenix are going to be celebrating here. We get back down towards normal at least here coming up as we go through the second half of the month. Now, taking a look at the extended forecast, because you can see the frontal system here, it's weak, it's petering out, and then we get the bigger pattern change here. You can see that trough moving across the west coast, and that'll bring better precipitation chances with it. But then in the wake of that, you can see some of this stronger gradient with the offshore component here as this high pressure system over the Great Basin. Too early to get into details on that quite yet, but you can see this would potentially bring a stronger offshore wind event here. And as you guys know, you can still spawn some nasty fires, and you can warm things up and low relative humidities and things like that. And we'll be watching that closely. Some of that might be associated with an Arctic high, bringing some cooler than normal conditions across the center portion of the USA. Most of that staying east of the Rockies. Now, taking a look at 2-meter max temperatures here. So this is today, Friday, October 11th. We put this into motion for tomorrow. Check it out. Look at that. Saturday, not bad. That's that initial system here. But then we bounce back a little bit there Sunday and Monday, and things warm back up. But then we start to look off in towards next week. And you see by Wednesday, check out the temperatures dropping. Cooler temperatures across a lot of the mountainous areas here in Nevada, and as we go through Friday. So definitely going to feel the drop in the temperatures here, much more comfortable as we go through the mid and the end of next week coming up here. And then the potential bounce back, which we'll worry about later. We're going to enjoy this cooler than normal condition for at least a few days while we can. Now, here we're looking at the European on the left versus the GFS ensemble mean. The GFS has 30 ensemble members, and you can average all those out to try to give you an overall picture of what to expect. The European artificial intelligence model here is more of a control run. So it's just one model there, basically the initial conditions, best we understand them. Now, taking a look here, as we go out towards the midweek here, you can see the next system there as we go towards the mid and end of next week shows better chances than the European for Southern California. But I want to show the GFS here as well, because I don't want to get people's hopes up too much on that system. Things have to line up right. You can see the huge differences across some of the Sierra Nevada, even some of the valley areas, the Bay Area showing very little on the GFS versus much more there on the European artificial intelligence. So we're going to be watching that closely here. Hopefully we can start to trend towards what the European artificial intelligence is saying. And here's Redding Municipal Airport. So this is looking at that initial frontal system here. You can see maybe 1/10 of an inch or so out of that system, but better chances as we start to move on in towards Tuesday night and Wednesday of the following week with that big pattern change coming in here. And this is San Francisco. Wanted to point this out also. Check it out. Some of the models are showing up over 2/10 of an inch of rain. They control actually 3/10 of an inch. So some precipitation down towards the Bay Area is possible as we go through next week. Here's the 6 to 10 day. We took a little peek at that. But you can see the near normal returning to the west coast and above average across some northern portions of California and Nevada there also. And then the 8 to 14 day, still they're starting to show that bounce back a little bit there. Don't like to see that, but whatever, not much we can do about it. And then the 8 to 14 day near normal precipitation chances. So anyway, was out shooting late last night trying to get the northern lights and lenticular clouds show across some of the Cascades here in Washington. So that's why the briefing is a little bit late here today, and you can probably see the room behind me is discombobulated. We're doing a rearrangement here, put some new carpet down, trying to soundproof the place a little bit better. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, leave some comments below, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow and break everything down, and I will talk to you guys then.